allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic, and if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us call am hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one na dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Can he dey touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be dey holla say dem want the power. Chai, dem be promise us say we go get light and power. Dem hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn jù. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
Hello there, brethren. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me again. And remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is live. Oh, Mayegun today. And if you have done all of that, by the way, thank you once more. So we are starting with the letter or letters written to the National Assembly by Tinubu. In the last few days, especially last few days, where they have been trying so much to convince you that Tinubu's policies are yielding, Nigeria is making more money, even when people decided to even when people raised questions about, then why are you borrowing so much if you are making so much money? Their argument is that they could borrow as much as they want because they have the capacity to pay, which they don't. However, Tinubu and this gang, right, they are expecting another tranche of loan to be obtained from the World Bank as well as the Sukuk. So the National Assembly returned or resumed today from weeks of recess, right? And the first letter they got, especially the House of Representatives, was that of, Tinubu demanding for approval, which is going to get anyway. So approval for $2.3 billion. Now, if you ask, what do you think that money is meant for? They are borrowing to offset another borrowing. Like if they are taking loans to offset another loan, what is that loan? You've been hearing them talk about investors bringing money in, but you can't really pinpoint where is the money per se, other than them going on to still keep like borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. So they have been raising different kinds of bonds. And federal government bond is almost just for a year, right? The least. There are others who are like for 5 years, 10 years. This is when you give the government your money, right? And the government will have access to liquid cash, immediate cash, promise you a return like crypto, give you back 20%, will give you back 10%, will give you 16%. They have different percentages of interest. So you give them your money. And after a year, they will give you back your money and interest. So this is a bond that Tinubu and this gang raised so well last year. One of them is 1.1 billion euro bond. It's going to mature by December 2025. In 2 months' time, they have no money to pay that back. So they have to apply to borrow another 2.1 billion, so $2.3 billion, so that they could offset the 1.1 billion euro, which obviously could be like 1.6, 1.7 billion euro. They collected 1.1 plus the interest they promised them back. They will pay more. Now they want to take a loan to offset that. And that, man, let's start with that. Then we're going to go on to the meltdown, the tirade of Devil Umahi, simply because he was being asked to answer questions on the Coastal Road project. So we start from that. The House of Representatives and the letter they got from Koolu Abbas.
debit sovereign sukuk, the US dollars in the ICM based on the following reasons, among others. One, the federal government has recorded considerable success in the issuance of sukuk in the domestic capital market for the development of critical infrastructure projects across the country. Between September 2017 and May 2025, the DMO has raised 1,392,557,000,000 naira through sukuk in the domestic capital market to fund critical road infrastructure projects. There is a need to pool resources from external sources to complement domestic issuance to help bridge infrastructure funding gaps. And two, it is imperative to open new sources of funding for the federal government of Nigeria and thereby diversify investor base, as well as deepen the federal government security markets.
Well, why do they want to give me money?
The proposal is for the House of Representatives to approve the issuance of a standalone debit sovereign sukuk with or without credit enhancement guarantee from the Islamic Corporation for the insurance of investment and export credits. A member of the Islamic Development Bank Group, the indicative timesheet provided by ICIEC in respect of the credit enhancement is attached as Annexure 2. The policy premium for the guarantee proposed by ICIEC is 3.5% of issue amount per annum. If the credit enhancement from ICIEC is taken from the proposed sukuk issuance, 25% of the issue proceeds may be used to repay relatively more expensive debt obligations of the federal government, and the balance will be used to finance the development of pre-identified infrastructure projects. In conclusion, based on the foregoing, I respectfully request the House of Representatives to pass a resolution, one, to raise external capital in the sum of $2,347,465 United States dollars, comprised of new external borrowing in the 2025 Appropriation Act, $1,229,113, and refinancing of maturing Eurobonds of $1,118,352,000 through any of the following options: issuance of Eurobonds, bridge finance facility from book runners, loan syndication, and direct borrowing from international financial institutions. Two, to issue a debit stand-alone sovereign sukuk for up to $500 million US with or without credit enhancement from the Islamic Corporation for the insurance of investment and export credit. A specimen of the resolution required is attached as an Annexure 2, Annexure 3. While I look forward to the timely issuance of the resolution of the House of Representatives, please accept, Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyàmọ ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí.
APC, Egbekegbe, is the weapon fashioned against you. And if you pay attention very well, okay, you will realize that they are not really hard to detect. They are not really hard to discover. When I talk about, what I mean is that they are lies. They hide them behind fancy words, refinancing of the Eurobond loan. Do you know how fancy that is? We are taking this capital, external capital No, they didn't even call it borrowing. They didn't call it loan, right? They called it external capital something. That make it look like, oh, it's not, it's just capital we are taking somewhere. And remember that the National Assembly already approved for Tinubu money to borrow between 2025 and 2026. They've already approved $21.5 billion, 2.2 billion euros. They want to raise at least 800 billion naira in Nigeria, planning to raise, I think, 15 billion yen, Japanese yen. All of these have been approved for Tinubu. So it is not as simple to say it's just like they need to debate on it anymore. No. You see, this announcement is just to pretend that it's following due process. So we want to refinance the Eurobond that is maturing. What that means is that people will give them 1.1 billion euro last year. They need their money back. They have to get their money back latest by December. So they call it refinancing. You get that now? With all the condition attached. But when you read, when it started, he was talking about taking this external capital, this to invest in critical infrastructure. That's Tinubu. They don't tell you which infrastructure. Back in the days, right? They will tell you that they want to take, we are going to take 1 billion naira to develop this water. How can you use 1 billion? You know, you have something to probe. These days, they don't have to tell you. They just tell you that it is money for critical infrastructure. It is money for healthcare infrastructure. It is the loan for power resuscitation and the regeneration of the vibrancy of the renewed hope agenda. All they have to do is just to dump that jargons on you. They don't have to explain it. To the point that you begin to question that, why would you spend that kind of money on this or that? I'm coming back to the House of Representatives though, right? So Tinubu want to take $500 million loan, Sukuk loan from the Islamic Bank. Now, he didn't tell anybody what they want to use the money for. Back in the days, Sukuk loans are attached to projects that you can easily, you even see funded by Sukuk. Funded by Sukuk. How many of you who have traveled on Nigerian roads have seen roads? They will say funded by Sukuk. Even the what do you call it? The closet terrorists of northern Nigeria used to, I think they used to joke. I don't know if it's a joke, but it's kind of a joke, right? So they used to joke that that those of you who claim that they want to Islamize Nigeria, what are you going to do with the Sukuk money they used to construct road in your own area? Or that's if you have any Sukuk project in your area. Under Tinubu, there is nothing attached to Sukuk, just Sukuk, $500 million. You know, financial misappropriation, my financial impropriety, financial criminality, which is caused by financial secrecy, you know, doctoring data to push a false kind of like a narrative as a government to endanger the lives of millions of people based on false data developed by these rogues. It's like they're like magicians, right? Magicians like that. Okay. I don't know how to do magic, but let me try something like that. I don't know. You should, what I'm trying to do is that magicians use these two hands. The real magic or the real kind of like action happens just on one hand. You just have to figure it out. The other one is to distract you. You know, that's what APC, that's what they're doing. Do you get that now? So they hide the truth and they live in their own lies and they argue it to the end and say, well, if you don't get it, if you don't understand it, it is simply because you are either unpatriotic, you hate Nigeria, or it's because you hate Tinubu. They are piling up all this debt, hiding some of them under funny names, funny titles. You can't probe their book. For the past 2.5 years now, Nigeria federal government has stopped publishing their own finances. As corrupt as those before them, people still have something to check and be able to trace some of this misappropriation. For Tinubu, you can keep guessing. Yeah, you can. Then Akpabiole. You know, today Natasha returned, by the way. I'll show you first. Natasha and supporters and everybody were at the National Assembly today after a suspension of for 6 months, right? So Natasha, Aisha, and others, right, were seen at the National Assembly, and she was in fact at the plenary. I think it's called plenary when they have to debate the business of the Senate. Natasha.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. How are you? Thank you so much.
Then Akpabiole, who was giving his own kind of like welcome back speech, addressing his colleagues as well as Nigerians. I think I should let you hear his message first. It's crazy, right? So he's assuring you that it is your interest that they are protecting there, but at the same time, you should not allow yourself to be used to turn against the government, blah, 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 blah. It's better I show you first. Akpabiole.
Of our constitution, which governs us all and all our efforts. To the citizens of Nigeria, we say this: we in the 10th Senate, we hear you. We know your expectations. You ask us not for excuses, but for results. Not for noise, but for substance. This Senate will continue to remain open, accountable, and responsive. We will not shrink from enforcing discipline, from scrutiny. Indeed, we welcome it, for accountability is the lifeblood of democracy. But it must be clearly understood, the foundation of every democracy is its legislature. Those who seek to weaken the legislature, in truth, seek to wreck the very substructure of democracy itself. As we stand once more on the threshold of another election, let me say another election season, let us speak plainly to our constituents about the sacred duty of choice. It's important for them to know that the choice they make is sacred. Leadership is not a carnival, and governance is not a stage for theatrics. Let no one mistake the nation's destiny for a costume drama, nor confuse applause with achievements. Whether in party primaries or general elections, let us not lay quality upon the altar of spectacle, nor exchange wisdom for noise, nor experience for glitter. If our politics must be mended, let it begin with the courage to choose the right men and women of integrity, of tested virtue, of proven competence, and of sincere devotion to service of our nation. We must teach our people that democracy will only flourish when ballots are cast, not for the loudest voice, but for the wisest heads. Not for those who seek office as an ornament, but for those who see it as a burden of duty. Distinguished colleagues, let history record that in our time, we did not shrink from the truth, nor flinch from our responsibilities, but urge our people toward leaders worthy of their trust. So as we resume today with fresh vigor and steadfast resolve. We must legislate not only for the Nigeria of today, but for generations yet unborn. And even for generations we shall never see. Let this Senate be remembered as an instrument of national transformation and a citadel of democracy that brought about hope for our nation.
Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. Ó jọ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá.
Akpabiole indirectly sending a message to Natasha that public office is not just a place to turn to a spectacle. Coming from the dramatics personnel or criminals who are living like royalties, who want every man and woman, right, to lick their feet. You get what I mean? And they feel easily offended if you take them up on that same leadership responsibility. Say, okay, yeah, you want to be a responsible leader. Now let's ask you these questions. Would you be able to answer the following? They get triggered. Shut up your mouth. Sit down. Shut up. Don't, what do you think? Shut up your mouth. And they're like, really? Bunch of irresponsible men and women, cancers, opportunists, pickpockets, are there deciding or making decisions rather that affect millions of lives, including the ones that are yet unborn, generations yet unborn. They are there seated in their council where they approve loans that generations yet unborn will pay and pay for. They glorify poverty in such a never seen before that they have actually built institution around it, and they call it management of poverty. They even have a ministry for it. The more they throw money at this poverty, the monster poverty, the more people become poorer and poorer. People who love to put up performative shows. They want to renovate a 10-kilometer road. They will throw a party. If they succeed in rehabilitating the road, they will throw another party after like hyper overinflating this same road contract and what have you. Characters like that shouldn't preach about leadership. Unfortunately, they could, because it's Nigeria. They are not too different from their supposed their followers, by the way, the citizens. Fortunately, it is not a place of justice. People who sit in judgment are those who are supposed to actually be judged. You get what I mean? Those who are supposed to be in jail are there making laws that the rest of us just have to follow, whether we like it or not. You don't even have a choice of choosing your own representatives, your leaders, like, you know, legitimately, without the whole process being compromised, that we end up producing criminals like Tinubu and others. One of their colleagues who is representing Abia, I think Abia North or so, in the House of Representatives, decided to take it up with this newly returned National Assembly to discuss the unbelievable, maybe believable though, right? The unbelievable silence that those who are supposed to speak against executive excessiveness or executive lawlessness, they are just the rubber stamp, and they will silence any voice that comes in contrary to whatever the agenda they have put forward. So this man represents Mazi Nnamdi Kanu constituency in the National Assembly. You've seen him severally, different court appearances and all that, right? And he decided again, which will be like God knows how many times now, right? Okay, everybody is freshly back. Here is one of the issues you should look into. And how did they react? Watch this.
You don't shut me down. You also have the right.
Honorable,
It is important, Mr. Speaker, that this House
only when your
takes
privilege
cognizance
is compromised
of the issue of Muslim
denied
Kanu.
that you can bring it up. And I thought that particular position is talking in respect of instances where the issues is beyond your control. But this is not what a letter from you to from yourself to me.
Yes, sir. The
When
letter
you
is
have
here,
as a member
Mr. Speaker.
direct access to come to my office and seek for explanation.
Mr. Speaker,
Why?
I've been
Why
to
do
your
you
office.
have to go through this?
I've been to your office to seek the
Speaker.
answer.
Please.
Excuse me, sir. Can you read the order book, Rule 6 and subsection 2, to know that Honorable Obi Agocha, I represent the great people, Mr. Speaker, of Iguano, Umahi North and Umahi South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm an Abia man. Mr. Speaker, I rise on Order 6, Rule 2, matters of privilege.
What do you want to... Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I wish to draw the attention of Mr. Speaker and the House that on the 26th of August 2025, I wrote a letter to Mr. Speaker, the House of Representatives, as well as a letter to the Attorney General of the Federation and a letter to Mr. President, urging for the urgent intervention request the deteriorating health conditions of my constituent Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Up until today, Mr. Speaker, I have yet to receive any response from Mr. Speaker, from Mr. President, and from the Attorney General, despite deteriorating health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom has been evaluated by his own team of doctors and came up with a report which was attached to the letter that was submitted to Mr. Speaker and to the President and as well to the Attorney General. Second evaluation has been conducted by the Nigerian Medical Association, and the results even further confirms the deteriorating health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has organ deficiencies, low potassium, and that he is, as we speak, on the verge of death. Mr. Speaker, at the instruction of the court instructed in 8 days for the Nigerian Medical Association to also do their own assessment. So there are 3 reports now, Mr. Speaker, all leading to the same direction. I quote the judge. The judge says, "It's only a man who is alive and living can stand trial." Mr. Speaker, this is not politics or any other thing, but it is a fundamental human right that should be ascribed to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Most other people in that gap have been given opportunities to even travel overseas to seek medical attention. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is neither convicted of any crimes in Nigeria and must be protected under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, Mr. Speaker, a lot of progress has been made in order to see that the government does the right thing to be able to afford Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the urgent treatment that he needs. It's significant, Mr. Speaker, if otherwise.
My dear honorable colleague.
Yes, sir.
I do not see where your privilege is conflicted here.
I have not received a letter that I wrote to the Speaker. I'm a member of the House, and my office deserves a response, whether it's positive or not. But as a member, and the letters were received by your office on the 27th of August, right here.
Is the letter you wrote to Mr. Speaker's office just a notification?
Not a notification,
or a demand for a certain action to be taken?
Yes, we requested for a certain action, which was to intervene in the medical condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom is now, his health condition is deteriorating.
If it is something specific to the office of the Speaker, Honorable, I find it a little bit intriguing that you will come by way of a privilege to demand action to be taken.
Mr. Speaker,
through
the letter was
office of
written.
the Speaker that you have direct
Mr.
access
Speaker,
to.
the letter was written since August 26th.
You have direct, unfettered, honorable.
Yes, sir.
Unfettered access to my office. This is not the kind of thing that I would expect that would come by way of privilege.
It is a matter of privilege.
If it is something beyond you from the outside, but if it is something that is a letter written to my office, you know, a phone call from you, a visit to my office can solve the problem. So I don't think if...
Mr. Speaker, I've been to your office, Mr. Speaker.
So you mean
I've
you
also
have
submitted the
explored
letter,
all
Mr.
options
Speaker.
and opportunities. You couldn't see me except here.
I've come to your office, Mr. Speaker. We just resumed today.
I don't think
We
this,
just resumed today,
this
Mr. Speaker.
request you
And it's very important, Mr. Speaker.
Please, Honorable.
Order, please.
Honorable, please.
Please be
Step
guided.
it down because it is not the right thing to do.
Yes.
Please, I beg you. Step it down.
Please be
Mr.
guided.
Mr. Speaker, it is
Please
a
be
matter,
guided.
Mr. Speaker, it's a matter of life and death.
Please.
My constituent life
please
is
be
at
guided.
stake.
I am trying to tell you the
attention
procedure.
of the House, Mr.
This
Speaker.
is not right. Step it down and
Please.
see me if you want any action concerning any letter you have written to me. You don't need to
Mr.
go by way
Speaker,
of this.
the House
please be
rules,
guided.
excuse me, sir. The House rules allows me the latitude to bring an issue of privilege to this House and to the attention of Mr. Speaker. And it is important, Mr. Speaker,
It
that
is
this House
only when your
takes
privilege
cognizance
is
of
compromised
the issue of
or
President
denied
Kanu.
that you can bring it up. And I thought that particular position is talking in respect of instances where the issues is beyond your control. But this is not what a letter from you to from yourself to me.
Yes, sir. The
When
letter
you
is
have
here,
as a member
Mr. Speaker.
direct access to come to my office and seek for explanation.
Mr. Speaker,
why?
I've been
Why
to
do
your
you have
office.
to go through this?
I've been to your office to seek
with the Speaker.
Please.
Excuse me, sir. Can you read the order book, Rule 6 and subsection 2, to know that I also have the right?
Honorable,
Yes, you do, but
please,
you are
you
not
are ruled
privileged.
out of order. You are ruled
You
out
don't
of order.
shut
You
me
can sit
down.
down, please.
I have to. You are ruled out of order, please. Listen to the gavel.
Mr.
Listen to the
Speaker,
gavel, please.
Mr. Speaker, we will present it before the House properly in the course of the week. I understand the pain, the heart of the representative with regards to the subject matter of Nnamdi Kanu. But we'll come properly before the House so that proper hearing will be given to it.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind.
That name strikes a different kind of fear into the heart of the elite of that contraption. Mention his name in the room, everybody will begin to feel agitated. They don't want to touch it, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to, you know what I mean? While they watch this abuse of power, abuse of fundamental human rights, abuse of judicial process, all these abuses, they are very much aware. So they will just pretend that it's not happening. The guy is doing the right thing. As a representative, right, by law, you can go to the National Assembly to go and talk about just one person, which gives the National Assembly or the reps and the rest of them, right? It gives them, the law gives them some level of intervention when it comes to stuff like this. but because it is political. Nnamdi Kanu's abduction, detention, and even the fake trial on trumped-up charges, everything is political. No matter what narratives they want to probably push another, it is political. It is like a political landmine. And why is that? There are those from northern part of Nigeria who have this, who are still in this civil war, that genocidal war mood. In 1970, listen to this, in 1970, Gowon declared that the war was over, no winner, no vanquish. He then declared what they called the 3 R's, if I remember very well. Rehabilitation, settlement, something like that. In order to kind of like a country start afresh and move on from there. But we all know that the physical war, the needless bloody civil war that was over. There is another one called the Cold War, the kind of one that the likes of Boko Haram carried in their heart, even to his grave. When he had the opportunity as the president of the country to actually really lead the country, right, unite the country, no, they weaponize this tribal, religious, and every other division that they could use, to the point that the president of Nigeria said it will wipe the Igbos out of the map. They are just dotting a cycle. Have you forgotten that? That was the president of a country. So the civil war might have ended as they put it on paper. There are those especially from northern part of Nigeria, that the name Igbo, Biafra, strikes some level of rage in them. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's different. And that is why they are comfortable negotiating with real terrorists who have wreaked real havoc. And then they would spend everything, like spend a fortune, just to be able to convict a man that is saying, let my people go, Nnamdi Kanu. So it's like a trophy. They are keeping him as a trophy. So anyone who decided to release him is stepping on the political landmine. Also, they believe, and his fundamental human right, his every other right can be completely abused for all they care. Not that they didn't know, of course they do. Where the government is teleguiding the judiciary, and at the same time, cherry picking which of the court judgments they are going to abide with. The government, so they are aware. But it won't last long. The table will turn. And those who are so pompous today, power drunk, and others who are also very much comfortable in that level of, impunity, the table will turn. They think that they are actually like doing you a favor for holding political office, which they killed to occupy. And they are in the office, ask them questions about what they are doing. They automatically become so upset, angry. And you're like, why are you angry? I have the right to ask all these questions. Say, no, who are you? You don't deflect on. It is about their personality, their ego, and all that. Because since Tinubu came in, I don't know if you have noticed, they have now, they have lifted eye service and hypocrisy to the next level. They discovered that Tinubu enjoyed this praise singing and the praise singers, and every one of them around him became a professional praise singer because he probably enjoys it or he does enjoy it. But if you dare hold them, try to hold them responsible, then you're going to see the other side of them that ordinarily it takes extra push to get to that level with Nigerian politicians. Because Nigerian politicians are actors. They can act any role. They can take anything in. They understand that their people knows them as criminals. But at the same time, right, there's nothing they can do about it. So as long as they are playing the script very well. To now get to the skin of, under the skin of a Nigerian politician on national television, that takes extra. And I think that's one thing they don't like about Rufai Oseni. I know most of you have seen this viral video, conversation between Umahi and Rufai Oseni on a rise. So what happened? You know, Umahi has been doing everything possible to convince people that whatever you think about the coastal road, you are wrong. The coastal road is one of the legacy projects. However, there are questions, including people whose properties were destroyed during the said, right of way, so to say. They are not compensated. So this has been going on back and forth. There are those who spend their own hard-earned money from the diaspora to buy properties in that part, in the axis. So Umahi took this part of the land, and the lady who was the real estate agent that kind of sold the land, she's claiming that there were already erected properties on this said land. Umahi said nothing. And in his own defense, so in fairness to him, he said, the woman is only blackmailing him. That if she had collected money from people, that people have, people believe that she's constructing buildings for them or whatever, right? There is no proof that there was any building there. Umahi was saying that, right? So he said, because if you are to build any house in Lagos, you will get the government approval, which will show that, you are planning to build and they've approved your building, right? That this said woman and estate, they never had any Lagos state government approved, right? So then the conversation went on to, listen, you said, we know that your coastal road is 18 trillion naira. That's a whopping sum of like $12 billion. No bidding, no nothing. Or could you break it down and tell us, since you said you are doing this road in phases, and you can't just give us one particular cost. I say, it is 10 billion naira per kilometer. I say, okay, 10 billion times 750 kilometers. And he was like, no. He's an engineer. And then it's quite interesting though, right? I'm coming. The first part of it, right? Here, Umahi and Rufai Oseni. Can I ask you for something? Yeah, a very quick one, okay? I am glad that you are here, by the way, right? So if you can just please take a minute. No. 10 seconds. Leave the comment section right now, right? And just tap that thumb up there, right? Like the broadcast if you can. That's if you haven't already. Now let's go to that Arise face-off. Umahi's meltdown. Here.
I want to say, talk briefly on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway because I listened to, the PDP chieftain that came on this program yesterday about this time, Otumba Shewemi, and I was very displeased with a number of damaging information, that Rufai dished out to the public. And I feel that it's very important that I clear, such damaging information. Rufai was very wrong when he said that I was struggling to give figures on Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway cost. That is, very disrespectful because This is my profession. And I was in your studio, Dr. Abate, and I ran the figures from the basis, takeoff sheets, and arrive at the cost. Now, what Rufai is asking me to do is to give him cost per kilometer, from Section 1 at Akpabiole Way in Lagos, down to Cross River, Calabar. And that is very unfortunate because he wants to learn engineering from the back door. There is no two sections, or even within a road project, even where there are no challenges, that you can get a cost of 1 kilometer the same with the cost of the other kilometer. And I thought that I had sufficiently, explained the cost of the coastal highway. And I thought that each time there was award of any kind on infrastructure and other awards in Federal Executive Council, would always come out and then give out the analysis, to the public. And so what Rufai was saying was very inciting, and I think he's very good at doing this, and he should desist from that because it's actionable. Number one, the Section 1, the 30% component of it is naira denominated. The 70% is a loan component, and he knows that this loan component was put out to the public, by the developmental bank. The Dutch bank put it out to the public, to financial institution, and he knows that this subscription, it was oversubscribed by $100 million. And they said that the cost of the coastal highway was very cheap, and they had to come to site to inquire about the standard, why the cost should be that low. And so I have done all that I should do, but if you decide to stay before the public and then damage information because you don't like one administration the other, it's very unfortunate. But that job is ongoing. And I hope that Rufai will have the opportunity to follow the road, one time to appreciate what the president is doing. Now, he took on me again on wing homes. And I want to, put him on a task. These wing homes, I'm sure that he had decided not to understand, the truth about it. The woman that is in charge of wing homes development, from available facts before me, bought 12 hectares of land from the villagers, the natives, according to her, in 2022, and bought it 12 hectares for 50 million naira, not dollars, 50 million naira. And these investors, from what I have, because they have contacted me, two brothers bought 5 hectares. One person bought 5 hectares. That is 10 hectares already, and they're all based in Nigeria. And as of 2021, she has started selling. But the document I have says she bought this land in 2022, and only 12 hectares. And then she was selling 21 million naira, not dollars, in 2021. And as at the time we started construction, she started selling a plot for 70 million. And a plot is 675 meters squared. That is what her own plot, was said to be. Now, these are the questions. Who are these investors? That's number one. Number two, you bought, 12 hectares within a very developed area, for 50 million in 2022. If you go there, you see a lot of houses around there. And so how come, was it properly bought from the native? That's number two. Number three, did you register the concern with Lagos State government? Can you put up the document before the public? You should send it to, the attorney, Mr. Rufai, so that he can look at it. Number four, who are the people that bought this land? Did they pay in dollars or they pay in naira? Should be able to publish it. Now, I took journalists last week to Lagos at the point of, and the right was there. And they had to explore the entire premises. And if there were, buildings there and they were demolished. The tendency is that you will still see even some few rubbles there. If the land was reclaimed, you will not see the original vegetation. So they didn't discover any evidence that one building was put up outside the gatehouse, which we demolished. We valued it and we demolished it, and that was 19 million. That's what they valued it for. And then there was also no evidence that there was approval for any building by the Lagos State government. If there was, they should put it forward. Number 5, they should also show us those buildings where they were located and the monitoring of those buildings by the Lagos State government, because you would not be building without being monitored in Lagos State. So these are the issues. And
nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
That's what they are very good at. Now, for you to understand what just happened there is that Win Homes are being Win a Home, or so this estate agent, right? A woman, a businesswoman, spotted a land for sale. She flew to Nigeria, discussed with the locals, and then bought using Devolumayi's info, which is possibly completely lies, right? But just using that to have a context. So she bought 12 hectares of land, which is a lot, right? For, according to Devolumayi, she bought the land for 50 million or something in 2022. He went back to the US, advertised this choice land in choice area in Lagos. Everything is fine, the document and all of that, which she presented though. But if you listen to this mofo, you will think this woman had no right to any land, Abi. So Devolumayi confirmed that he bought the land, right? And is now questioning that maybe she didn't even buy the land properly from the locals. Nobody the locals, they complain, no. They don't get problem. Now Devolumayi. Then he went on to say the woman was selling the land for 21 million naira per plot. So, is that not what you are doing in Lagos? Your overpriced estate and your overpriced properties in Lagos. Is that not what you're doing? Anyway, she's selling a plot for 21 million. And people were buying, Abi, which means she's selling her land. And according to the lady, the plan then was that it was to have a community where they got their own, like you have in Lagos, all these places, Kinekon estate, this one estate, that one estate, right? So that's her plan. So in 2024, according to Devolumayi, the woman started selling the land for a plot for 70 million. So all of that is just to present the woman as number one. We are not even sure that she bought the land, even though we are sure she bought the land, but we are trying to not to be sure that she bought the land. Then number two, do you know that she's making so much money from the land as well? How can you be making so much money from your land? Then 3, she said that she's already constructed some buildings or whatever in there, on the land rather, and they've been demolished. We need her to show us the proof, the approval from Lagos State. Alaye, whether she sell the land for 1 billion naira per plot, whether she has approval to build yet on it or not, the fact that it's a land gives her every right, to demand for compensation in the sense, the situation where you are constructing a road, which is like for the public interest. Devolumayi took this woman's land. It's like saying, we need to take your land, okay? Because the road we are constructing is going to take this size. And every land here, in the middle of this bottle, every land that goes through that. We're going to claim them. It's called right of way. Okay? But Umahi and his gang, the coastal road they here, they are still collecting people's land as far as here. And I'm talking about thousands of acres of land like that in the name of coastal road. So if you have lost part of your land to the coastal road here, but you still have some here, you will lose everything. That's what's going on there. So they are now picking, if you have connection in Abuja, they can remove your own name and remove your own plot and say your own is sorted. That is what is creating all these problems. So if not, there shouldn't even be any problem. Oh, the government want to use this land for road. So let's have all those who are the owners of the land. It's called right of way. It's not government's land. You don't just go anywhere, but these criminals, what they are doing is that in their usual way, as they are doing that, they are picking on choice lands for themselves too, in the name of federal government. So you that are the locals around there, you can't fight them because they will tell you to go and fight federal government. And that's how they have managed to grab people's lands. But the wahala is just about to start. For Umahi, in don't talk. It's now going to be the turn of Rufai. This is the time I need you to pay attention to the public officer, somebody who is a public official in Nigeria, being asked questions that he is not comfortable with. He considered as low, insulting questions, inciting questions, or the questions that have predetermined ending, a gotcha moment. And because of that, it felt so deflated. Baba Umahi want to turn to toad or bolo on screen. I need you to pay attention. No, it's a long watch, all right? It got to a stage that I actually thought it was looking different. It was like that. I was like, oh my God. If for any reason they put him and Rufai in a room, they can't give Umahi gun at close range. He go empty the entire magazine on Rufai. But why? It's simple questions. You are the issue. It shouldn't, should it? This is that part.
So you will allow me do a right of reply because it's obvious you came for me today, my very good minister friend.
Rufai,
hang on a minute.
I'm still talking.
Hang on a minute. After you went to report me to, you can finish. But after you reported me to President Tinubu, you are on here with me again today. But it's fine. I will respond to you, Minister. Go ahead.
You were putting a Abati, am I on?
Go ahead, Minister. We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. Yes. Now, the third one, Rufai became an attorney, darkening counsel without knowledge. She said, oh, there is a case in court. Yes. There were and there are still cases in court. The first case was 39, people that their properties were demolished and properly, evaluated, and they were paid. Even shanties, the president directed us to pay, because he wants to alleviate their problems. Naturally and normally and by law, we don't pay for shanties when they are destroyed. You pay for properly, registered, properties, and when you destroy it, you pay. Now, the 39 of them, which Win Home was one of it, the court dismissed the case. Then she now single-handedly on her own went to Federal High Court and instituted another case. That case is on. Probably that's what Rufai, SAN is quoting. And then there's also another case she instituted, diaspora investors. This diaspora investor, there was no registered, evidence, and so they cannot sue or be sued. Now, the question is, in the court did not put any injunction against the work. And in any case, we had passed the road even before they went to court. If somebody sues you, Rufai, and says that, you passed, against the traffic, which you did sometime, you broke the law. And it does not mean that, you are restricted unless the court evidently says so. So these are the issues. Now, the diaspora, the investors, who are resident in Nigeria, with me and you, they have come to me, they have sent me a letter, they want to come to the office to see me. And I'm willing to see them. I wanted to take on the woman because when she's using the issue of diaspora investors, it makes other people, genuine investors that want to invest, to be afraid. This government is very friendly with, diaspora people, and so we wouldn't allow her to use the name and damage, the administration. So I had wanted EFCC to come into the case, DGSSS and police, and even the Interpol. But I have left it to the investors. When they come, they are willing to do that, they will process it. So these are the issues about the Coastal Highway. But notwithstanding, the Coastal Highway is going on very well, very competitive. We are in Session 2 now. We've opened Session 3 and 3B, 65 kilometers in Calabar and, and Akwa Ibom. The Section 4A and 4B going on at Ogun. And also at Ondo.
I would like to interject. This
so that is about
long.
The Coastal Highway.
Minister, Minister, I would like to interject. This monologue is quite long. So at first, Minister, after you had gone to report me in front of President Tinubu and said all sorts, anyway, I am not beholden to you. My job is accountability.
You are too small for me to report you to the president.
No, but they are empirical.
You are too small.
Minister, let me speak. Minister, let me speak. I have empirical evidence. The world watched it on the commissioner of the project when you mentioned the questions I asked you to the president. That was reporting me to the president officially. The world watches, so you don't need to dilly-dally about the empirical facts. I don't talk without facts, Minister. When I have my facts, I talk. And I insist on my question when I ask of course.
Let me only address you.
Minister, you will not allow me speak. The problem is you will not allow me speak. You spoke for over 20 minutes, over 10 minutes.
Because you don't know what you are speaking.
But let me speak. Let me speak. You will not. You will not allow me speak. You see, if you can just keep quiet and be calm and just allow me speak, I'll be happy. All right. So my question still persists as regards the cost per kilometer. You cannot tell me that we don't have a right to know the cost per kilometer. Even if it's an undulating landscape, give us all the facts and the details of the cost per kilometer. That's all we'll ask for. Other questions as regards the loans taken. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Listen to me.
Minister, you will not allow me to speak. The minister will not allow me to speak.
No. Don't do that with me.
Minister will not allow me to speak.
I was in your studio.
Minister will not allow me.
And when the first section was on, and I ran the figures. And what you're asking us is 750 kilometers of coastal highway. We should tell you cost per kilometer, so you multiply by 750. That's nonsensical.
No, so tell me the cost per kilometer. There's nothing too hard for you to tell me that figure. You've not still told me that figure, so I was right on that point. The second point...
Because you don't understand anything.
The second point I'm trying to make is
You don't understand anything. I'm a professor in this field.
Okay.
You don't understand anything.
What university gave you professorship in this field?
And you cannot ask me to tell you a cost.
What university gave you professorship in engineering? I didn't know you were Professor Umahi, Minister. I didn't know. So, please, you've not been able to...
I'm professor in practice.
In practice.
I'm professor in practice.
Okay.
I understand engineering very well.
So secondly,
and you have no knowledge of what you're asking.
If you will let me...
You have no knowledge.
If you will let me ask...
So you keep quiet.
Okay.
And then stop,
Minister, it's all right. Keep dignifying yourself and let the world see you for who you are. If you allow me speak, the other 100 kilometers that you said they've added to it, we would like to know the cost per kilometer of that one. And the Winsome Homes, the case is in court. Now, I would like to know the cost per kilometer for that one. I would like to also know the over 700 billion first tranche of loan you guys got for this project. Has the money been spent? How was the money deployed? I would also like to know. I would also like to know the terms of that loan. All right? How many years? What's the payback period? What's the payback moratorium of that loan? And for the Winsome Homes, isn't it interesting that as somebody that's been a governor in the state, you know the law, a case is in court, and then you're coming to talk about the details of the cases in court. Because you deny that the case was not in court. Now you've already accepted that the case is in court. So Is it not just better you thrash it out with the woman that is been reporting a case in public that we all heard, and I ask you questions based on that? So, Minister, just answer the questions. I've got no axe to grind with you. You know that. We've spoken many times. In fact, when your people call to book, I booked them, and I said you should come on air. So please just tell us those information. It's very important, Minister.
I'm not hearing, even though this guy is not. Yes, you know, in certain cases in court, you say, you know, you do no case submission. Rufai does not know what he's talking, and I think he should come to learn, you know, one, how to talk. Number two, Mayo.
Answer the question. How have the loan been spent? What's the cost per kilometer of these new 100 kilometers? How much is it going to cost? And how has the cost been spent?
All right, Minister Umahi, you have the floor now to please respond to the questions that have been posed to you.
Okay. Number one, you know, this guy makes me, you know, it makes me, you know, to laugh, you know, at a very high level of ignorance. I was in Edo State, and I said, listen, the president has directed, you know, 100 kilometers of the coastal highway to pass through Edo State. And this man is asking me how much per kilometer. This 100 kilometers has not been designed. There has not been a soil report on it. And so why are you asking me, you know, to, you know, is it to name a child or to do a birthday for a child that is still in the belly of, you know, a mother? That's what he said. So, and he's doing it, you know, what is the cost per kilometer? You know, what is the cost per kilometer? Listen, in this kind of project, you are not dealing with a cost per kilometer. You can't say this is an average cost per kilometer. So I'm teaching you English now. You can talk about an average cost per kilometer because every 1 kilometer is different in cost from the other kilometer. So you can talk about cost, average cost per kilometer. Now, Rufai, that project has not been designed. It has, the soil report is not out. That process is ongoing. And when that is done, the ministry will do their own, you know, evaluation. We now go to BPP and ask for selective tendering of the project.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè.
This is how they, I mean, I kind of like feel like these guys believes that Nigerians are very dumb people. And whenever they are addressing them, they don't really think they have enough sense to probe whatever they say. If you dare probe it, then you are just a troublemaker. You are just this. You should learn how to talk. Baba, and one company, they gave the contract of the coastal road to. And that company is high-tech, Shaguri. They are the ones to construct the 750-kilometer coastal road. When they started, they said the coastal road will be a 10-lane super highway. That means 5 on this side, 5 on that side. Do you understand? Super. And they said it was going to cost 15 trillion naira. At the time, $11.8 billion. There was no bidding, no nothing, just, you know, a kind of like a 3-room conversation, and the contract was awarded. They didn't do any form of a soil sample. What's it called? Geographical something mapping? No. The compensation meant for people whose properties would be affected by this development? No. It was all done in France. And when it was done, even where are they going to see the money to fund it? they automatically believe that they will take loans. Yeah, we'll take loans and give it to Shaguri to build the road. When the road is finally complete, no, before it's even completed, they will put toll on it, okay? So the plan is to put several toll gates on the road, because that's how they intend to recoup back the money. But in that deal, the road, when the road is completed, it will be presented as road that was built in partnership with Shaguri. And Shaguri had no single dime to it. They don't have to because of Tinubu. That's why they are taking these loans in tranches. Anywhere they could get it, they will take it, give it to him. So the point I'm making here is that a minister that is not working with several contractors on this same project is telling the world that the kilometer of the road, the cost per kilometer is different. If they are different, then you must have the details, because you already gave us total. They reviewed this contract, they reviewed this coastal road, and they said it's not going to be 10 lanes anymore. It's going to be 3 lanes. 6 lanes. 3 here, 3 there. What happened to the remaining 4? Cancelled. And you know another thing that happened? They jumped the price of the contract from 15 trillion. It is now over 18 trillion naira. That's the total cost so far. Meaning they must have done the segment by segment, the cost of building bridges, how many bridges will be built, how many layover will be built, this and that. You know what I mean? They must have done that before. And all of this probably must have been scrutinized by the necessary agents of government to ensure that it meets the standard, including the cost. Say, okay, with this cost, the materials you want to use here and there and all of that, that details should be readily available before a penny is paid out, in my own opinion. Tell me if I am wrong. I am very much ready to be. But isn't that so simple to see before you say, oh, this is how much we're going to spend on this contract? Details of where and what you are doing is already there. If you have nothing to hide, you could give instances about, like, if you say, oh, the project is in phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. This is why. You see, the phase 1 is a hard terrain, not that tough, but it's still pretty much like, needed this and that. The cost per this side will cost this if we have to break it down. Then we're going to build bridge. And this particular bridge is, you know what I mean? Like, as an engineer, your field, you should be flexing, talking about these things. But no, we are already doing phase 1 from Akpabiole. We are doing phase 2 from Akwa Ibom. We are doing phase 45 kilometers from where. That's all they want. But when you begin to ask questions about this 45 kilometer, 30 kilometer, they say, why are you asking about that? Instead of you to be happy that we are already doing something, it's already, that's what this old man said. He said, APC, Egbekegbe wants you to believe what they tell you, not what you are seeing. And they are finding that so difficult though. They've mastered it, but it seems it's going to also be their own Achilles heels.
Well, APC is good at what they know how to do, deceive people, manipulate figures, conceal issues. That's their job, they know how to do it. But I should ask you, Marco, do you feel safe where you are now? Going back home after work, do you feel safe? That's the question. Nigerians will tell them that they haven't done anything towards preserving their lives. They must have an agenda. And then as we progress in this conversation, we give details of what we know they are doing and they're capable of doing. The last administration, before the present government, that APC government, the story is out there that just because they want to rule this nation, hook or crook, they have to go to the extent of importing foreign nationals, Fulanis to be exact, to come into the country and destroy the nation. If they could not get power, they have decided to destroy the nation. If anybody has that type of mind, what good can come out of it? And the present president, when he was campaigning, he did mean words. Only Nigerians were listening. He said it may no fun. What does that mean? Is that me or nobody else? And to get that, is you got to do anything. Like his predecessor did, he invited foreigners, Fulani, to come and kill us. His best friend,
Your Majesty, sorry to interrupt you. Are you?
I knew they were going to interrupt him. The not man who is just saying it the way it is. He said APC, they have mastered the art of deceit. Deceived the people, manipulated the figure, tried to change narratives, deflecting when you ask them important questions. You can't hold them. And if you pressure too much, they will say you are inciting people to cause problem in the country. Meanwhile, they are the ones inciting people. Their actions incite the people. But they are still lucky so far, if you put it that way. Here is a journalist talking about them and road constructions. These roads, a never-ending road construction. Nothing else really matters to these roads. Road construction. They will never really be completed.
I grew up in Nigeria. Obviously, I've spent all my life in Nigeria, and right from while we were growing up, we've been fixing roads. Nigeria has been fixing one road or the other. We've been building roads, fixing roads, tarring roads here and there. You know, but if we continue if we continue with the way that we are currently, in another 15 years, another 20 years, when you are in your 40s or 50s or 60s, you think about where you're going to be in the next 20 years. Nigeria will still be tarring roads and, you know, building one road here or there, or tarring the other road, patching this one here, you know. Like we would never get to the place where we're now talking about a fully functional metro system that works in major cities across the country, you know, trams, high-speed trains. Nah. We will just be tarring roads. That's where we're going to be. You know, still giving out road contracts, still having the president come and commission, you know, 1 5-kilometer road that this person built in so and so place. Just road. You just be fixing roads. You know, just continue to tar roads. No, that's it. You know, don't expect that, you know, maybe at some point you will get to actually experience a fully functional, beautiful public transportation system, you know, electric buses and trams, and you can get out of your house and enter the tram, move into so and so station, and no, they will just be tarring roads. That's it. You know, just continue to fix and tar and you know, build some flyovers here and there. That's it. In another 15, in another 20 years, maybe in another 30 years. I mean, if we continue with the way we are now, that's pretty much it. The only time that you actually get to experience a fully functional public transportation system is when you leave Nigeria and go abroad. But here, yeah, we're just going to be tarring roads, yeah, and fixing the ones that we tarred 2 years ago that have broken down, you know.
And then re-award it again for rehabilitation in another 2 years after. And you'll be lucky if they actually come on to Angono. You'll actually be thankful, like grateful, if they come around and repair the road they had last year or 2 years ago. You are going to watch that one deteriorate for years until somebody else will now come and also award the road contract, awarding road contract. The next thing they do is build the airports because they've made so much money. Nigerian criminal politicians, they've made so much money that buying private jets is like buying candy from the candy shop for these guys. And I'm talking about coughing out $20 million, $30 million, $40 million to go and get yourself a small private jet, flying here and there. And most of the time, they will now put this aircraft, this private aircraft, they'll put them under a private management company. You get that now? That will then pretend to be the owner, who would then be leasing out this aircraft, flying their VIPs, musicians, actors, and others, flying them all over the country and make this aircraft available for these politicians whenever they want to go and enjoy the real world. Yeah, they are building airports. They just built one in my own state, Ogun State, which is just a 40-minute drive from Lagos, by the way, from Lagos Airport. It's just a 45 minutes drive. But who knows? Ogun State currently owes the worst. If they say the state with the worst kind of roads in Nigeria, I will personally protest if Ogun State is not between number 1 to 5. I know yours may be different, but we're not doing competition here. You know what I'm talking about, right? But they are building airports. A welcome development.
I'm telling you, that's true.
It's a long distance. From where the airport is a long distance.
From the airport to the airport.
To Shiloh is a long distance.
State airport.
So Lagos is better off.
So the airport is this side.
It's in between Shagam to Abeokuta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Operated by ValueJet, gladly, from our airport, Gateway International Airport to Abuja. I want to thank the Almighty God for this grace, this privilege, this opportunity to see this vision come to fruition. And I want to congratulate all of you who are the first official commercial passengers taking off from this historic airport to the nation's capital to give the glorious day. I want to, on behalf of the entire people and government of the state, wish all of you joining us. God be with us. God bless the state. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
I didn't know you had this. How are you, sir? Good to see you again. God bless.
Nigeria criminal politicians, they are different breeds. They They're so different kind of breeds of criminals. They can't travel the roads anymore. They fly all the time. The roads that they continue to award for construction, reconstruction are so terrible that millions of Nigerians are subjected to this terrible, the danger of these terrible roads every day. So what did they do? They started building themselves airports, right? Putting up enough when they are in power. So they're putting up enough. I mean, they're putting up enough media presence, like hype and all that. For those of you who remember, when Umahi completed his own airport, 54 billion naira of Ebonyi state money was expended in building airports in Ebonyi. Now he and himself and his friends and the governor and their friends are those who are using the airport. Do you get that now? So to them, maybe someday in the future, it will become very useful for something, anything at all. Maybe not now, while their people could use that 54 billion on something else if it is judiciously used or utilized. In Ogun State, the idea of building a cargo airport was just something that made sense at the time for the fact that Lagos State's airport is so busy and all that, right? So they could be receiving some traffic of cargo, flights, divert them to Ogun State, and Ogun State could benefit from that. Dubious Dapo came in and he's managed to build the Odin Bay, the VIP section, and the tarmac. And right now, they've got airports. All they needed was just an approval. NCAA, I've been waiting to call them approval. They got it. So planes can land, they can fly out of the place. So they don't have to go to, it doesn't have to go to Lagos before he can fly to Abuja or fly to any part of Nigeria anymore. So so that is his own priority, so to say, when he is gone. Somebody who probably will succeed in, which is probably going to try to force, right? The airport may not be his own priority anymore, but they will still be using it, at least, to fly to any part of Nigeria. While he will be walking about and be saying, I built airports. They are different. They are so different, bro. And for the road, one of them constructed a road that he commissioned. This is in Anambra, by the way, Soludom. So then it rained, flooded. When the water subsided, so did the new road. Pretty much said that the flood washed away the new road. We're talking about roads just now, didn't we? Aren't we? Now, here is an example of that. A road that they spent probably millions constructing. After one single rain.
Main road. The main road. Solution is working. Deputy Speaker nke nọkwa na your constituency na-ekwe moto, o dichekwa moto niile. O dichekwa moto niile nke a bụkwa Amawbia n'ise bypass. Ụzọ aka alụrụ anyị na na-ekwe mmiri na-apa moto, na moto niile, nwezikwa moto na-aga nwunye. Na-ekwe moto niile, o dichego moto niile, o digo store niile. Na-ekwe nke welcome to Amawbia, welcome to Amawbia. Na-ekwe ndị mmadụ ka ọ na-apachacha. Na-ekwe na-ewe ndị mmadụ ka ọ na-apacha. Ka alụ
That's what the rain did. Joseph. So we have to redo it again. Yeah, of course, using the public fund again. Nobody goes to jail for all of that. No? Because it's public fund, it's public money. They don't get punished for it. A court ruled in Nigeria, by the way, they're currently having an issue with tinted glass or tinted window for your car. So if you have any factory fitted tinted glass on your car, you will need to take that car back and get that tinted removed. However, prior to this, right, they had a police permit, which is the permit to allow you, so the permit that allowed you to drive about with your tinted glass. So then they said, no, we're not doing that anymore. In order for them to stop, to stop criminals who are hiding behind tinted glass to fight insecurity, that's what they mean. So they will need to stop issuing the permit, and they will start arresting people with this tinted glass. Then a court ruled that would be illegal, and such order should not be carried out. So wrong. That's the court. Now, court gave the judgment. In Delta State, they have been confiscating people's cars. And when police gets any good reason to obtain you, I know they miss some, right? Yeah, they won't. You have tinted glass. You are going to our station. Or give us 50,000 naira here, we will settle them so that we don't have to waste your time. It's about, God, no get 50,000 naira. Okay, enter car. Oh, they go station. You know what I mean? You know the drill. A court said, no, you can't do that. But a police commissioner was out in Rivers State yesterday. He said he is educating the motorists why they must remove their tinted glass. I said, Sherry, clash of lawlessness and attempt of lawfulness. Somehow, lawlessness could crush this, your attempt to be lawful. Fire brigade approach and all that. 2 steps forward, 20 steps backward. This was the Commissioner of Police for Rivers State yesterday, educating traffic about tinted glass.
Like today you are out on enforcement exercise. Can you tell us what exactly you are enforcing today and why you are out on the street?
Okay, it's a continuous process. Every tinted vehicle has to get a permit for the vehicle. And today we are continuing enforcement to ensure that those that are using any vehicle that is tinted has a due diligence permit for them to operate the such vehicle. That's what we do.
Okay, the FPA said that they have a report.
Well, I'm not aware of any. Just hearing from you. But I think it's an exercise that I've been for some time now, from time to time, while people are doing exercise to ensure that they have a permit to use tinted vehicle. And you all know the country, these tinted vehicles are being used by miscreants and criminals who can be a lot of arms and ammunition and other equipment, items that we can use to attack the citizens of the vehicle. And equally allow us to get statistics of things that are used for vehicles. If there's any crime being committed with such vehicles, to be able to track it. And the Inspector General of Police has suspended this from time to time to ensure it's not to it. And we are now enforcing it as directed by the No, you ask them now that they have any document for you for your
You are standing beside the vehicle right now. One of your men is in this vehicle. When you interacted with the driver of this vehicle, you showed you some documents, but it seems like you sent somebody to impound the vehicle. So what's the situation with this particular vehicle and the driver of this vehicle?
The vehicle has its papers intact, but does not have permit to use a tinted vehicle. And all the documents he showed has no evidence to show that he has that. So he's complaining that they told him that it is factory tinted,
not have to get a permit, which is the wrong information. So I think we also need to be sensitized to know that vehicle is tinted, something you can see for yourself, and for him to be riding on such vehicle in the town, he's supposed to have a permit where all necessary information about him will be known, so that if he's used in committing any crime, we will easily get him for whatever crime the vehicle belongs to. But now he's going to be impounded so that he can do the necessary thing, be advised on what to do, and let him know how the tinted permit looks like for him to go and get one. Because from now on, we stop from time to time until he gets the vehicle being used without the vehicle allowed, so that we control the rate of crowd, criminals and crimes are being done by people who normally have tinted glasses without having due diligence information on who owns such vehicles. There are complaints that the stress of being captured, that it takes a long time. So if someone has started a process and I'm not yet, and the person is stopped, what's going to be the situation with that person? Yeah, such person, there is a number given to him. If we have gone online and start the registration, there will be a number given to him that will use to go to the headquarters to go and capture. And when we see that, we know he's on the process, so we allow such people to go. At least some information that are ready as we receive. So we just complete it and know about that, and then we allow to go. Such people that we know that they started the process, all people want to be sure to get in the time for that. We see one or two people that have been like that and we allow to go. How were you made aware of this? And how did you go about getting it announced? And how did you go about getting it? How long did it take you? About 1 month time. The capturing, how was it for you? It was very easy. I have to do it. So what do you think about the enforcement drive of the Rivers Police Command? It's a very good thing so that someone can have support it. But some of them actually have their own permit about them. And at least to let people know that it's very important. It will help police in data capturing and also make it easy for us.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make our own life.
Very true. Going forward, because I can see that my time is kind of like fast, like approaching. But I have a plea, all right? Two actually. The first one is that if you have stayed on this long, okay, on Mayegun's Diary Politico, and you have enjoyed your stay so far, you can actually subscribe onto Mayegun's Diary Politico on YouTube, where you won't have to miss anything next time. All right? So please do that if you haven't. Then the second one is, again, it's a reminder. If you haven't really liked the broadcast, it's so easy, the simplest thing to do to reflect the number of us who are here tonight. Please. Yeah. Like it. And if you have done that, no, you don't have to do it twice. Once, it's okay. So the court said, don't do it. The police IG said, we are doing it. These are the guys that will let off suspicious convoy of vehicles if they are able to just bribe them. They don't look into your trunk or your boots or anywhere, except when they feel like you are not cooperating. That's what they call it. You're not cooperating. Disobeying the court order and obeying the IG order, right, is also part of the textbook definition of a disorderly, lawless society that they have made of Nigeria. A country don't function like that, won't function like that. No. Similarly, underreporting what people are truly going through, this issue of insecurity. Christian Association of Nigeria came out today. Have you seen that? Yeah, they came out today to deny any, Christian genocide in Nigeria. I've been expecting that for the past 48 hours. In fact, I was expecting them to lead a delegation to go and see Tinubu, right? In which they are going to put up, sort of like appearance, right? That will show that, no, there are no Christians being killed in Nigeria. The terrorists are just killing everybody. There is no religious undertone and all that. But it took them 48 hours. So they released a statement and they said, no, there is nothing like that going on in Nigeria. Okay? And, the insecurity in Nigeria is something that requires everybody to work with government and to protect lives and property. What are you talking about? Here is one of the pastors in Nigeria. El Buba, his name is El Buba. Okay, is one of these, generation of pastors, preachers, that also believes that when you have wrong people in power, you are automatically going to have a wrong system of governance. So he's radical in his own way. He's used his own position to tell his own congregation the truth. There are things prayers can do. There are many other things you have to do yourself. Many others. Here.
I'm speaking to every one of you Nigerians, and I want us to take note of this. We all have, I keep saying it, we have a responsibility to defend and protect the integrity of our country. We also have a responsibility to make sure that this country do not go into the point where we continue to ride on deception. Truth is truth, and truth must not be covered for anything. If there is anything that has been brought up, we must work together to see to an end to this reality. There is this issue that is ongoing about the genocide in Nigeria against the Christians or the Middle Beltans. It is true. We can't deny it. Before the militants and some of the Islamic militants began to kill some of the Hausas in Zamfara and other places, we all know that Christian communities were totally displaced. And we have recorded tens of thousands of Christians in the northern Nigeria that have been killed and their communities have been taken away. This is genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? I mean, the English definition is there. What genocide means. Now, I want you, except you are an enemy of Nigeria, but if you know that you're passionate and you're patriotic about the state of this country, then we must share this among ourselves and speak the truth to ourselves and agree with the reality of what is on ground. I have had some of the special assistant media and all of that to the president coming out to say there is no genocide in Nigeria. It's a lie, absolute lie. Just look at it. From in 2025, over 7,000 Christians were killed. Now, in just 2025, 7,087 Christians were killed in 220 days of 2025 alone. Now, daily average Christians that are being killed per day is 32 Christians per day that are being killed in this country. Another record in 2024, 3,100 Christians were killed. In 2023, 4,118 Christians were killed. Between the period of October 2022 to September 2023, from the documents that we have, 4,118 Christians were killed. We all know about the Christmas massacre that was coordinated by the Fulani militias on the plateau in 2023. You know that 300 Christians were massacred. So you don't talk about Benue. Just within 2023, 500 Christians were killed throughout 2023 in Benue. And you go to this community, I've been there. The Christians are not there any longer. They have been displaced. So there is genocide in Nigeria. And so nobody can tell us lies when we know we have lost so much of our brethren. I have joined in the burial and the mourning of tens of thousands of Christians that have been destroyed and killed in this great country. All I encourage the Nigerian state is to rise up to occasion. Whether it is an attack on a Muslim, whether it is an attack on a church, we must stop it. There is genocide going on. And people are being eliminated, taken away from their community. And I want to say again, we cannot allow a one-party system in this country. It is not healthy. As much as we give our support to the system and the government to succeed, Nigeria cannot survive on one-party system. And I want to say to all these selfish, self-centered politicians, it is time you rethink your actions. Corruption among you must stop, and you must rise up for this time to make sure that Nigeria is salvaged and that together we fix this country. May God help every Nigerian, and may God continue.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when you won't
need a car to travel. Pastor Elbuba, I uploaded a video on Mayegun's Diary Political Facebook this morning, I think. And it was one of these Fulani terrorists. Yeah. First running the new acquisition, a new weapon. Weapon will be say, if you are wearing armor vest, or you are inside armored vehicle, Baba, the bullet will penetrate inside. Yeah, let me see. Because you know something, right? I can't put it on YouTube, okay? That singular 5 seconds or 10 seconds video, right? It could ruin the entire conversation we've had so far. So, listen, right? And let's see if the camera will even pick it. Listen. Oh, sorry. See that? See that? That's the weapon. Those are the people your government, APC, Egbekegbe, want you to believe that you are just overreacting. It's just because you don't like Muslims. Or it's because you don't like the North? All these things is because you don't like the Fulanis? No, none of that is true. These armed terrorists are wielding war weapons. War weapons. When you ask people to defend themselves, can you defend yourself in front of that? Those are war weapons. Go to Mayegun's Diary Politico. It's there. It's on my Facebook page. I'm sorry that I couldn't put it on the, on the program itself. These were weapons they took from the Nigerian armory. When they invaded the military base or the army base or any military barracks, wherever where they have an armory, these are the weapons. But yet, the government of APC in Nigeria will not proscribe them. They won't even treat them as terrorists. They call them bandits, so as to downplay the severity of what they are doing, of who they are, and how you, because according to them, they cannot be saying the whole thing to you so that you are not going to start attacking Fulanis where you see them. You're not going to be attacking this or that. I said, keep everybody safe. Arrest these criminals. Get rid of these criminals. But no, they will rather manage them because they have become an industry on their own. That's why this mofo could make this kind of a video, by the way. This one.
Good morning, Nigerians. So, the president of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, thought that we are afraid of him. So, Mr. President, for your information, we are not afraid of you. Number one. I know the president might be confused that why is this boy speaking that way to him. So, Mr. President, if you haven't forgotten, you as the ECOWAS chairman had a meeting and has signed a law that anybody that abuse the beloved prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is our beloved prophet, the messenger and the last prophet, whomever abuse him, you said that there is no any law or any consequences against him. So, Mr. President, for your information, your message has been delivered. After that, we want to tell you that, Mr. President, number one, you should know that you are not the president of the Muslim. You understand? You are the president of Nigeria. Number one, you are the chairman of ECOWAS. You are not the chairman of the Muslim. So, for your information, the president of Nigeria, let me tell you something. We are not afraid of you. We are not anybody that abused the beloved prophet. Anybody that abused the prophet, Mr. President, believe me, that person is gone forever. Whether you like it or not, that person will be eliminated instantly, whether you like it or not, Mr. President. And let this one serve as a warning for you, Mr. President. We the Northerners are warning you. We are not even begging you. We are warning you. This one should serve as a last warning to you, the President. Let me tell you something. People are now here. Whatsoever that you are doing, people are just watching you. Don't engage yourself in religious matters, because as a president you might cause war. Don't forget that you are from Lagos, while the majority of the Muslims are in the north. That means you are causing religious war in your country. So, Mr. President, let this one serve as a last warning. We are warning you. Hear it, Mr. President. You should hear it very well. We are warning you, not even begging you. We are warning you. This should serve as a last warning to you, and you shall go and remove that word that you have just made, Mr. President. Go and...
We are a poor nation. The bank code will follow. They say firewood not fall. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. That's the one he's sending message to, that you should be careful. Anybody that insults their prophet, that person will be eliminated. So you should watch his mouth. Was that not how some of those guys that murdered Deborah? Was that not how they were making videos too? Warning everybody to watch their mouth. You cannot insult our prophet, we'll kill you. Yes, we will kill you. You want to start war? We are ready to. We are looking at you. We are watching you. I said, hey, you know about. Huh? Mm-hmm. All because you have a system that allows some to pick up weapons to express their disagreements and all that, while others are not even allowed to pick up a pebble. You are expected to receive it. And therefore, you are trained not to provoke them. Don't provoke them. Those northerners are, they're mad. Those ones, they are mad. There's no just provoke them. Don't provoke them. You know, we are not like northerners. We are soft, this and that. These are the ways, the psychologically. And as a northerner, he's been made to believe that if he becomes so angry, in the name of his prophet, he can kill anybody, and there's no consequences. If in the effort of trying to kill somebody for his prophet, he get killed, it's fine, it's okay. And that mentality continue to be nurtured. People are being groomed with that mentality. Younger generations, these are children, they born in year 2000, year 2000, 2001, 2002. They already have this same vile, murderous kind of like a rage in them, all powered by religion. You know, those ones who are like the closest jihadists that will give for their Muhammad. Another set are already doing it, jihad. They don't even need to wait for you to say something about their Muhammad or their prophet. Boom, they are coming for you because you are an infidel. The people of Yewata, Christians in Yewata that lost over 300 people the last time, they found ways of kind of like, keeping the community, the survivors, right? So here is one of their gatherings. These are victims of this same Fulani terrorism, by the way.
Of the Yelawata community, we appreciate the donors, Christian Emergency Alliance. We thank the international donor, the actor who has been sent to come and assess the community by himself, Mr. Andy. He came, he promised to return with relief materials, and today we gladly received for the community. And then we are thanking him and the Christian Emergency Alliance. We thank you in 20,000 folds. We lack words to appreciate you. Thank you. May God bless you. Amen. Of the Yelawata
Alliance, who went there to support the survivors, including children and others. They've not heard back from their own government or even Tinubu's government. It's been bureaucracy, corruption, deflection, and all that going on. My time is up. I haven't told you or shared that part of Momodu Yakubu, who has now served as the chairman of INEC. By next month, in November, it will be 10 years. I don't know if some of you probably remember that. It will be 10 years that Yakubu has been your, has been your INEC chair. Because Jega was removed in 2015, do you remember? And Mamoudou Yakubu was appointed. He helped or facilitated the rigging of Bokwari back in 2019. And he repeated the same for Tinubu in 2023. Now, he has reached the end of his own path. So you can then look out for his book. This Olori Brukuso. Yakubu will soon publish a book to tell all of you about elections and solutions to stop election manipulation, election rigging, and all of that. Then they will now bring Tinubu and everybody together to come and launch Yakubu's book. And people like us will be like, why didn't you do that when you are there for 10 years? Why didn't you do it? This was Yakubu today, living.
Very good. Almost endemic. Did I pronounce it correctly? Almost endemic. How is it? Educated? Very good. Babalola? Fundo? Little like you is your life best.
Till we meet again, till we meet.
So Tinubu is going to announce another INEC chair after his meeting with the Council of State meeting. They call this Council of State, where they're going to have the former president, the former chief justices of Nigeria, the present state governors, the National Assembly leadership, that's the Speaker, Senate President, and others. So then Tinubu will present a name to them. And once the Council of State has no objection, Tinubu will announce this name, then forward it to the National Assembly for prompt approval, and your 2027 charade will officially kick off. Until we meet again. Until we meet again. The next time you're going to hear from Yakubu will be when he's talking about his road, how he did so greatly for Nigeria, conducting the worst kind of a rip-off election, electoral haste. Then he's going to write a book. After writing the book, then he's going to tell you the solution to rigging elections, while you are going to be under the luck of the new guy. I'm going to go. Thank you so much for your time, okay? I hope I can remind you again, just before you leave, please like the broadcast, okay? And, share it. And finally, as well, I've got that my link for my fundraiser. Okay, you can always chip in anything. Buy me a coffee. Use any form that you can reach out and support Mayegun, right? Above it all, make sure you join me another time, which is going to be tomorrow. So good night from here, everyone. Odaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.